I'm Nathan Rich, aka 火锅大王. Today I want to introduce you to the new face of COVID-19. Back in March, I remember reading about a French athlete named Elodie Clovel. Sorry, French people. She had gone to the Wuhan military games in October of 2019. And in March, she reported that back then, many people in her delegation, including herself, were sick. At the time that this was reported in March, I just assumed that there would be some kind of investigation and waited to hear what the results would be. 3 months after she was infected, the health minister said,
et les risques de propagation du virus dans la population sont très faibles.
It was already spreading all throughout France and Europe and the United States. And recently we discovered that there was a case in France, December 27th, and that case was a man who got infected by his wife and then they infected their child. So that's relatively strong evidence of human-to-human transmission, although it's not totally clear without verifying how it was transmitted. This is something people don't seem to understand. Just because you have two people and one gets sick and then the other one gets sick doesn't necessarily mean that one of them got the other one infected through human-to-human transmission. They may have gone to the same place and gotten infected together, and one of them had symptoms later than the other, for example, or one of them may have infected them through contaminated food or that kind of thing. France has now confirmed that on the 27th of December, they had human-to-human transmission happening in their borders. That made the world kind of reevaluate this situation with these athletes getting sick. So it turns out that not only has there not been an investigation this entire time, the French government said it will not test any athletes who went to the Wuhan military games. And yet I hear no outrage about this anywhere. Nothing on the internet. It's almost like no one cares. No one wants to know. And not only are they not testing the athletes, they also told the athletes not to speak to any media. So they've been gagged and they're not going to be tested. But as long as we just continue this narrative that China is very opaque and is not transparent at all, then nobody seems to care when France just out in the open tells athletes to stop talking to the media and that they won't be tested. No one cares. But there's something even crazier going on. You've got something that happened at the Wuhan military games, and a bunch of French people get infected. Where are all the other infected people? There was over 100 countries represented at that event. Where are all the other sick people? How come no other countries, none of them have said that we have had COVID since October? Not one of them anywhere. Another solution to this configuration could be that French people got involved with animals in some way in Wuhan, and they got infected and started to spread throughout the delegation as they were returning home, and they infected people on the way out. Or many other countries are lying or don't know about the fact that COVID has been with them since October. What are the odds that only French people would be infected back in October? But currently, the fact is, the earliest presumed case of COVID-19 in the world today is a French person. And not just any French person. Well, I told you I'd be introducing you to the new face of COVID-19. What I didn't tell you is how beautiful that face would be. Not only the new face of COVID-19, but her boyfriend, who also got infected through human-to-human transmission, is also a super hunky dude. So both of these world-class athletes are now the new face of COVID-19. Certainly we'll find new facts that will change things, but for now it's just an interesting moment in time that we can say the French COVID-19 disease, assuming that these cases are proved, which the government is specifically blocking that from happening, but assuming that they're proven, that means that there is no valid conspiracy theory which takes place after October. Anyway, just a quick update about the France virus, as people are calling it. I don't recommend calling it the France virus or going along with this France lied, people died narrative that I'm seeing so much of these days. We can't be blaming France just because they had human-to-human transmission evidence as far back as October, which is, by the way, further back than anyone else that we know of, or anyone is even accusing any other country of. They knew back in October that there was human-to-human transmission. They didn't tell the World Health Organization for some reason, and month after month they didn't tell anybody, and cases kept popping up. More human-to-human transmission evidence showed up, and they just didn't tell anyone at all. And finally China was the one to tell everybody, so just another feather in the cap for China. It's a very strange world out there, and I know we're all waiting for the truth to come out. Until then, all we can do is chase facts. Thanks everybody. 谢谢.